Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang, Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung is set to hold a summit with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping on Monday. The South Korean president landed in Beijing on Sunday for his 4-day state visit. The leaders are expected to discuss restoring the Seoul-Beijing relationship and bolstering economic cooperation with a focus on supply chains, investment, and the digital economy. In line with that, a number of MOUs will be signed. Also on the agenda is North Korea, China's unofficial ban on Korean cultural content, as well as its unauthorized steel structures in the West Sea. Upon arriving in Beijing, President Lee also had dinner with members of the local Korean community on Sunday. In his opening remarks, Lee said restoring relations with Beijing had been his most significant diplomatic achievement since taking office, after ties had faced strains in recent years. The trip marks the fastest reciprocal state visit between the leaders of South Korea and China, following Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Gyeongju last year. Lee expressed hope that his visit would serve as a new starting point for further advancing bilateral relations. The president also pledged to improve overseas voting access for South Korean nationals living in China, noting that there are just 10 polling stations nationwide. North Korea on Sunday fired hypersonic missiles toward the East Sea with its leader Kim Jong-un overseeing the exercise. This was confirmed by South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, which said missiles launched from near Pyongyang around 7:50 a.m. Sunday were detected. The missiles flew 900 to 950 kilometers into the East Sea. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command noted no immediate threat and reaffirmed defense commitments. North Korean state media described the launch as hypersonic missile training to test readiness. Experts suggest the timing was carefully calculated to reflect Pyongyang's claim that it possesses nuclear and missile capabilities strong enough to deter potential U.S. intervention. It's North Korea's first missile test this year, the third under the Lee administration. The annual trade show of all things tech kicks off the new year. In Las Vegas, CES 2026 gets underway this Tuesday, January 6th, showcasing the next generation of intelligent machines. Organizers of the Consumer Electronics Show expect more than 4,500 exhibitors, including 1,400 startups, and the show is set to showcase artificial intelligence across consumer tech, alongside a heavy focus on robotics and humanoid robots. With companies from over 150 countries registered to participate in this year's CES, enthusiasm for the tech fair remains strong from South Korea, with more than 800 Korean companies set to participate. This gives it the third largest national presence, only after the United States and China. Ahn Sung-ki, one of South Korea's most beloved actors, who had been battling blood cancer, died on Monday at the age of 74. Ahn had been receiving treatment in an intensive care unit of a hospital in Seoul for about a week, after collapsing while choking on food at his home last Tuesday. He was diagnosed with blood cancer in 2019 and was declared cancer-free a year later, but the disease later recurred, and he had been undergoing treatment until recently. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.